Welcome to Survivor Live. This is a whole new format from the after show where we involve you guys, the fans. So we're taking your questions, we're getting down and dirty with our castaways, we're up close and personal with our castaways, whatever you guys decide. You set the tone, write in your questions. We are here with Survivor Cagayan.
It's hard to say, isn't
Cagayans. First voted off, David Samson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great.
Good. Even
I'm
though
so
you're the
happy
first
this is
person voted
live.
off, you're feeling good?
You know, to me, it's go big or go home. And if you're going to be off first, might as well. I really wanted to win. That was my point.
Right.
But to me, if you come in second or you come in 18th, I mean, no offense to how awfully awesome you are, I feel like we're losers.
Oh,
I
if
really
you don't,
do.
if you don't win,
I've
in
always-
the end,
my-
it's either first or you're a loser. in
That's
your
my
book.
view, right? It's in either you win the World Series or there's everyone who doesn't.
Okay.
That's sort of
and
my
do you
view.
think that, because you come from a sports background, you're the president of the Marlins, so do you think that with sports and having that sort of a background, it makes you better at accepting defeat or losing and taking that in a better way?
I hate losing. I'm incredibly competitive. I'm still upset about it. And watching the episode last night, it brought it back because I realized that I didn't think I had a chance. I was such a target from the beginning. I felt as though that our tribe from the beginning was so impossible to have good chemistry, and it was a prescription for disaster.
Yeah, your tribe was suffering
we-
big time, but they picked you first off as, you know, the guy with the blazer, he's running the show. Well, they said you were wearing a suit. You didn't
First of all,
appreciate that?
I just want to go on record so we can end this entire thing. In a suit situation, right, you generally will have pants and a jacket that match.
Do people know? Do you
Just
guys
gonna
know
throw
that?
that out.
Do you know that a suit is a top and a bottom?
Just throwing it out there.
Otherwise, it's a blazer.
There's no doubt about it.
And I thought that was a good choice for you to be wearing a blazer out there.
I'd like you to examine all the things that a blazer can be used for. You can crumple it up and use it as a pillow on bamboo.
It's true.
If your shirt
I thought you were going
gets
to say a
wet-
turban to protect you from the rain.
Oh,
Keep your hair
because
nice.
we didn't have shelter because Jatia told us what to do.
Oh, man.
And she couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
So we had no shelter.
right. She came in there guns blazing with a plan.
You know what? Whatever her plan was, I really hope that when she's planning nuclear bombs or whatever it is that she builds, I hope she has a far better plan, because the the basic structure that we had was so bad that it wouldn't protect you from a gnat attacking, to say nothing of a nuclear bomb.
I noticed. I think Tasha sat on it barely, like leaned up against it, and the whole thing collapsed.
It was even worse than that, and it was bumpy, and it was funny. I
Were
slept
you
on the beach.
surprised? You slept on the beach the first night?
Yes, there was no other place to sleep.
Because your shelter was...
There was no shelter. There was an
Nothing.
absence of shelter.
Do you feel like you were put on the right tribe, the Brains tribe?
I feel like that I should have been kept in the green room.
But you did put yourself out there, and it
Yes.
takes a lot to move through the process of auditioning for Survivor and then getting on the show and then traveling there and then going to Ponderosa and pregame and then you start the show. Is it a big letdown for you to be first off, or do you feel like you had a good adventure?
Listen, I wanted to be on Survivor since 2000. It actually debuted. It was a summer replacement show the first year I was in baseball.
Wow.
And I was at Olympic Stadium in Montreal for the first episode. And I said, I want to do that because I'm used to staying in team hotels and growing up in New York City and doing all the things that I'm lucky enough to be able to do. I said, that'd be pretty cool. I've never used a machete, or I've never seen a coconut. I've never done anything other than order pina coladas. And in the rain sometimes. And that was a musical
This
reference.
time you don't get any pina coladas.
Did you not get the musical reference?
But
You
yeah,
did.
that you like sipping pina coladas?
No, it's okay.
Oh, then
She's
I
too
didn't
young.
get it.
It's okay.
Did you
There's
guys
a
get
great
it?
song,
I don't know.
Pina Colada.
No, I don't.
Rupert Holmes, Escape. Check it right after this
All I
live
know
show.
is if you like pina...
That's it.
Oh,
But
that's
what's
the
the
one I'm
next
talking
line?
about.
There's another line.
Coladas.
No.
Isn't that what it
Making
is?
love in the rain.
Oh, man, yeah, I knew
Okay,
that.
stay with us here,
But
Parvati.
we're
So-
G-rated. This is a CBS
This is a
show.
song by Rupert Holmes.
We can't talk about making love. We're talking about Survivor. It's getting very uncomfortable in the studio.
I feel like
Let's take a
we're
fan
just getting
question.
comfortable.
Okay. Jules asks, David, do you think being picked as a leader put a target on your back?
100%. From the minute I got on the mat and I saw that I had a blazer on and everyone else was dressed casually, and I looked at Morgan and Jeff and Alexis on one tribe and Tony and Cliff, I said, there's something weird about to happen. And then when they said leader and they looked at me, I was done. So I decided I was going to really be a leader then, because if they tell you to be a leader, they elect you, and then you act like sort of a dithering fool, then I think they wouldn't think that's genuine. Why is he on the Brains tribe? He looks like a target, like a leader, but now he's acting like a moron. Why is that? So I decided to go right in and be incredibly authoritative and quick with my decision once I realized what Jeff was doing, which was basically ending any chance we had of winning $1 million.
Who's we in this statement?
I believe that...
Your Brains tribe?
I believe personally, and we'll see how it goes, I think that for LJ, for Sarah, and for David, when you have 3 people who are elected as leaders that quickly, that it really hurts their chances of winning the game.
That's an interesting theory. And you picked Garrett, which was so bizarre to me, because I'm like, he's clearly the most physical looking person on your tribe. If you're going based on first appearances, which you are on Survivor in the first second of the game, and Jeff's saying, pick who you think is the weakest, it would not, in my opinion, be Garrett.
Right. I was trying to be strategic. So listen, why is Jeff doing this? What is the purpose? We're early in the game. If choosing the weakest, he's not going to vote him out. They're not going to take 3 castaways away immediately. Garrett was wearing this green shirt, and so was everyone else on the tribe. So I said they're not going to trade him to another tribe. So what are they doing here? Morgan and Trish get chosen. I said, you know what? This is all happening in real time. I said, maybe it's a challenge. So why not put my strongest guy out there, and he'll beat those 2 girls. So
you completely didn't believe what Jeff asked you to do?
I don't believe anything Jeff says at any point. I mean, that's what Survivors, that's why it's the greatest show ever.
He's pretty manipulative with the game.
Well, but
he's usually very straightforward. He was like, you pick your weakest person, and he doesn't mean pick your strongest person.
Well, but actually, you saw it on the episode. Why did you have to choose your weakest? We keep saying pick, it's choose. If we're on CBS Live, let's do the right grammar.
Okay. We're not picking berries, we're choosing people.
Friends.
Okay.
Mommy.
So you chose Garrett, and then it really backfired on you because he gets to the beach and he's like searching for an immunity idol now.
Well, that was fine. I thought that Garrett would be able to handle whatever was going to come, whether it was a challenge or whatever decision he had to make. He never told us what decision. We got back. We get to the beach. He's in his underwear, right? and I'm beginning to count his abs. So I'm, 1, 2.
Did you lose count?
Past 20.
He has a lot of abs.
I got to 20, and I thought they were spray painted on for sure.
It looks that way.
Right. So what I did a tiny little quick something just to make sure.
You felt his abs.
I just want to make sure that it wasn't like eyeshadow or something.
God, you're very distrusting.
So I wonder why. We're the Brains tribe on Survivor.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that the first thing?
Do you think you outthought yourself?
I think all 6 of us did.
Yeah.
We were standing around overanalyzing how to make a shelter and how to do this. It was disaster.
Like disaster.
We couldn't make fire.
And I'm shocked in like the beauty tribe, who everyone would think would be the worst tribe out there, is the best. No egos. They're just kind of cruising around, doing their own thing. They build a nice shelter. They're winning challenges. And the Brains tribe is like, well, I don't know, maybe we should put the sticks over here.
Are you imitating Steve Urkel? Is that really what you just did?
I think I'm imitating Cass from your... I think that was Cass.
Oh my God. I don't even know how to respond to that.
But you became best friends with Cass right off the bat.
Because frankly, I looked at her and I said, this is someone who I don't think can win the game, but it's someone who I can work with to move forward in the game. And that was how I tried to evaluate everyone. I did such a great job that I'm with you on the couch.
You didn't, let me make that clear. So you didn't think that she could win the game?
Correct.
So you wanted to pair with her to the end because you thought you could beat her in the end?
Correct.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to say. It works so well that I'm here.
I know.
I thought my strategy was perfect.
But it did look like, we're going to take another fan question because I feel like we're talking a lot, but it looked like to me that you and Cass were sort of the outcast, and then the 4 young, like, I don't know, Garrett and Jatia, the crazy one, it was like they kind of just got together and they're like, let's do this.
See, I thought Jatia was the mayor of Crazy Town. I really did.
We couldn't really tell until the Rice incident.
What are you going to do? Listen, it's great. They got me.
So was there another person that you were thinking about pulling into your alliance?
It would have been, I would have thought about Spencer.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Had you talked to him?
I had spoken to him. He's young, but very smart. My concern with Spencer and why I didn't think he could win the game and why I chose him is he was always going to be so worried about being smarter than everyone. So I was trying to evaluate people on the brains trap. Why you on it? Why you on it? Why you on it? Trying to figure it out in my mind.
Really figuring things out.
It was a lot. Well, what else are you going to do? We weren't making fire. We weren't building shelter.
Try to make a fire.
Listen.
Try to build a shelter.
I haven't had that kind of stuff on my palms in years. I mean, we were trying to do it and couldn't do it.
This all happened because you lack experience in physical labor.
There's no doubt about that.
All right. Alicia asked, David, do you think that you came off too strong? Do you think?
You know what? It's an occupational hazard.
You're used to it in life. Okay, so a lot of people ask me this question. This is probably some of the fans would think this at home. People think that when you go on Survivor, you can play a different character than you really are. Like we saw it with the cop this time who's pretending he's not a cop. You can't be someone you're not. Do you agree with that or not?
Yeah, you cannot. Listen, I said I was with the Marlins. I said I was on the front office. I didn't say I was the president of the team. But, you put the blazer together with being on the Brains Tribe, together with being the oldest guy on the Brains Tribe, and I think that it just spelled disaster.
Disaster with a capital D. Susan asks, just how bossy was Jatia? We'll circle back to her.
She was outrageous. She literally had the perfect plan to accomplish nothing. It was almost like a government program. It did nothing. I mean, it literally nothing got done. Nothing. And I'm not exaggerating.
And she just sat there watching? Or was she participating?
Could you do this? Could you do this? And all of us are leaders. And one of the problems is when you're a leader and you don't have followers, it's really hard. Mm-hmm. And none of us were really following her because we were listening to her and just saying, well, that doesn't make sense. But she's a nuclear engineer, so maybe it'll work. But
so because she came out, see, I have this theory also. This is another one of my theories.
This ought to be good. Okay, go.
That when people have to tell you how good they are at something, it's usually a bunch of crap.
So, by the way, Jatia said, I am going to rock the puzzles.
Was it her idea to be the puzzle person?
100%.
So she's the one who's saying, I got this, let me do this.
Listen, I give her credit because she owned it. She owned it.
Yeah.
But she should have gotten voted out. I thought the vote was going to be 6-0. The first
time?
I thought Jatia should have voted for herself. I really do.
That would have been a first. I don't think we've ever seen that happen.
I really think she should have. She knew she was lazy. She knew she was bad. She knew she couldn't win.
So why wasn't it her? Why was it you?
I just think because I think Survivor's changed a little bit now, where the early threat used to be able to survive in the beginning. Now I think they're going after early threats even earlier.
You did. You went after an early threat. And Garrett, second off the bat. Was that a mistake?
It seemed like it was 5 seconds off the bat. If I had chosen first before Morgan and Trish got chosen by their leaders, I would have gone with Cass.
If you would have chosen first.
Yeah. I would have had a much more conventional choice, which would have been the older woman, Cass.
So were you trying to be different? Is that why you picked your big guy?
No. 8 minutes ago on your live program, what I mentioned is that what I was trying to do is see if he could win a challenge.
I know, but I just think that's so far-fetched.
Why doesn't that make sense? Oh, I swear to God, that's what was in my mind.
Or did you think, because I would think that
why else would Jeff be doing that?
You would do the challenge without the weak one. I don't know, because you never know with Survivor.
You never know. That's why Survivor's the greatest show and the greatest game ever made.
I've been a fan for so long and you got a chance to play.
It was great. It was great.
All right. Patricia asks, did you spend any time training for Survivor?
No. I mean, listen, I actually did. I admitted this on a video I did. I did buy flint. And I did try to use flint, and I couldn't do that. I did have...
You couldn't do it?
I could not.
Did you have a machete also?
What do you need a machete for?
Oh, that's the problem.
Okay, no, I'm kidding. Yes, of course I had a machete.
Okay.
And I tried to open a coconut and couldn't.
We're going to have a post-show training special for you.
No, it's all good. Now I can do it perfectly, because after I got home, that's really what I focused on. I didn't work for another couple weeks after I got home because I just wanted to learn how to build a fire.
Really?
And to build a shelter.
So now you got it down.
Yeah, no, not at all.
You need Jatia's help for that.
Big time.
Yeah. But you know what? I was impressed that you wore that blazer because I thought that the girls would want to borrow it and then you would be able to stick around a little bit.
There was a thought about that too.
People don't realize how important the wardrobe choice is when you go out on the island.
Yeah, it was critical. And it did me in. Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact of the matter is if I knew before wardrobe choice that it was Brains Beauty Brawn, no chance am I wearing a blazer.
No chance.
No chance. So I get on the mat, I look around, I'm in the blazer, I do one of these. And I said, okay, Probst starts talking. He goes right into 3 things you need, and I'm just hearing 3 things, 3 tribes. Oh no, you're not gonna say it, outwit, outlast, outplay. What does that mean? All of a sudden he says it, Brains, Beauty, Brawn, and I looked and I knew we were Brains immediately. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Sorry, Garrett. And that was it.
Garrett's here. He's listening to you right now, so he's going to have a chance to do his rebuttal.
Oh no, we're actually good friends now.
Okay.
We really are. He's a great guy, and we both made a mistake. We both did it wrong because we both lost.
Well, you can't win them all, can you?
No, there's only one winner.
There's only one winner. So you would not wear the blazer. What else would you do differently?
I would definitely have made sure that shelter and water were something that were taken more seriously by us, because the first challenge, day 3, we'd had nothing to drink and nothing to eat. Mm-hmm. I mean, nothing. So. And
the brains go.
By the way.
Kaput. The brains are useless if you have no fuel in your body. We
were on empty.
Yeah.
And people don't realize I was a couch contestant from 00 to the first 27 seasons.
Sure.
Right?
So you sit here and you analyze everything.
No, I sit here and say,
I
can do that.
Spectacles out.
I don't have spectacles. Why do you have to talk that way?
That's my nerd voice.
What will you do like when it's a beauty or a brawn here? Will you have
I'll be like, yo, what
exactly.
up? Yeah, that's super tough.
That's very good acting.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good for a reality show star. So listen, You're
so complimentary.
Well, listen, it's you.
Yeah.
Is there a question?
Where were you going? Okay, well, we'll ask a fan question then. Perfect. Alec asks, how did you feel about the rice in the fire when you heard about it?
It's a disgrace, right? When you're at home, you're thinking there's a green room behind the cameras where the contestants are hungry and thirsty. Once the cameras turn off, you're going to get water, you're going to get food. I figured Hostess cupcakes with the possible side of Twinkies.
Wow, so
cereal.
You're dispelling that myth for everyone.
So I thought that's for sure. So if you pour the rice in, don't worry, you're going to have basically some sort of roast beef sandwich right after. Meanwhile, there's none of that. There's no food, no nothing. For someone to pour your only source of food into the fire should have been an automatic torch snuff. Automatic.
I agree.
It just shows how ridiculously anti-brain our brain tribe is, that me and Garrett are gone and Jatia's the one. Even if she's the next to go or the next or the next or the next, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that everyone's game, in my opinion, got ruined by the idiocy of not voting her out first.
First, right. I think that had you voted her out first, you would still be in the game, and maybe the brains could have gotten it together a little bit.
Well, it couldn't be worse, right? So if we were still there, it could have been better.
You guys in the second challenge, after you go, you had a big lead, the Brains tribe, and then Jatia is the one who bombs the puzzle.
And she was slow on the swim, and I can swim.
What the heck?
It's an outrage.
Now we have the anti-brains. That is your new tribe. You've coined it.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, the anti-brain
tribe. Anti-brain tribe.
Hashtag. Bonnie asks, do you think it's ironic that you and Garrett, who were gunning for each other at first, were the first ones voted off?
I don't think it's ironic. It's the most beautiful part of any poetic justice in the game of Survivor can be, right? It's perfect. It's, we could have done a lot better. We could have been a lot smarter. We've spoken about it since we've gotten home, that just circumstances were that a leader was chosen. They happened to choose me. Jeff came to the Brains tribe last after Morgan and Trish had been chosen by those leaders. It just all unraveled incorrectly for me and Garrett to do well.
Yeah. Circling back to our original discussion about Garrett going to the beach and not explaining what choice he had to make, did that arouse some suspicion for you?
Okay, I was not aroused, but it definitely, I knew he had an idol.
That's a good word to use
for me,
for
it's a very good
an
word.
experience.
Well, right. Well, it actually has so many different functions.
So you were
But
not
yes.
aroused
No.
by Garrett, but you felt his abs.
Yes, and I also knew that he had an idol.
You did know that he
Here,
had an
you
idol.
have to understand. We get to the beach. He gets a head start. We show up at the beach. Here's this Adonis in his underwear with cuts all over his body. Hey, what are you doing, Garrett? Oh, I was getting the shelter going. Where's our shelter? Nothing had been done. Oh, what else were you doing? Oh, I was looking for water, and I found this waterfall. Hey, do you want us to take you there? I'll take you there, he said to us. He takes us on a 20-minute walk to a waterfall. He couldn't have found it without a map if you gave him $20 million and guaranteed straight flushes for the rest of his life. Couldn't find it without a map.
The waterfall.
Correct. So, waterfall, cuts, no clothes on. What's he doing? He's looking for something. So I figured he's looking for an idol.
it. Did you ask him?
No, why ask something you know the answer to? It's like I have 3 kids.
Okay.
If you don't ask your child a question that you know the answer to, it's not nice.
It's not. But how did that factor into your gameplay if you knew he had an idol?
There was nothing to factor in. We were playing to get rid of Jatia. That
So-
was my whole plan. For the first boot had to be Jatia. Whether he had the idol was not relevant to me until Jatia was gone.
Okay. I got it. Did anyone else suspect that he had it? Because Spencer suspected that you might have it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Spencer's too smart to think I had it. There's no way. There's no way. He knows
He
better.
clearly said, "I think that Dave
was
might
him.
have an idol."
That's actually a very good imitation of Spencer.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
try.
It's not that great, actually. And
I think that Dave might have an idol. Now you're gonna make me keep trying these voices and be all
you're
weird.
very good. It is a little weird, actually.
Let's get the fans involved some more. I want to hear what you guys are thinking, especially about this immunity idol question, because it's just crazy to me that he found the idol. You thought he had it, but why didn't you try to make an alliance with Garrett?
We were
After,
together to get rid of Jatia.
But then
I would
not.
have. Well, there's nothing to be not, or it's one vote at a time. Let's take a minute and get rid of Jatia and move on from there.
Okay, so if you had been in Garrett's shoes, and Jess, one of our fans out there, is asking this question, David, would you have gone for the immunity idol or for more rice? What would you have chosen?
The idol.
No brainer.
No brainer.
What do you think about the woman from the Braun tribe going for the rice?
I think it'll be difficult for her to win too.
I think so too.
It's just it's because I think if I'm on a tribe, if Garrett comes back and says, listen, I had a choice, idol, rice, and I went for rice, I would have immediately said, you know what, that's a disingenuous decision.
Right? Like you're trying too hard.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's the old story like with the family visits. It's the worst challenge to win. Not that I'll know, but where you have to do you give up your family to do another family, and how does it all work? It's a total
those are
nightmare.
heartbreaking. Well, we saw it with Monica last season, where she gave up all of her reward, and then
See you
everyone was just creaming her at Final
Yep.
Tribal, thinking that she didn't. She's not
It's a
genuine.
bad plan.
Yeah.
I think that it's okay. Honesty and Survivor usually are oxymoronic, but it's okay to show that you're there to win. So, hey.
Yeah, I think that everybody knows that's what you're there to do.
But I think that some people may not be.
You think some people? Well, okay. You think some
I
people
really
are there
do.
for camera time or something?
I think that I would say out of 424 lifetime contestants, I would say that there are 30% of them who are there in search of
Is he on
something
the
more.
Brains Tribe? I can't tell. He's doing math on the show.
30% of 400?
You and Culpepper.
Really?
Are you friends with him?
Friends?
Brad
on
Culpepper?
Facebook? No.
You should be.
I don't have a Facebook
He
page.
could use a tutor.
He could use a tutor, I could use a tattoo.
Brad Culpepper, if you're out there, connect.
Connect. Have a moment.
Not like this.
No. What is
Michael asks,
this?
David, what member of the Brains Tribe do you think has the best shot of winning? You already said nobody.
I think we're all tied for 0.
Maybe we should move on to somebody else.
That's a good question, though, Parv. Keep up the good work.
That is a good question.
Yeah, 0.
Well, okay, I think Tasha. I like her, and I like her cute bow in her hair. She's like a cartoon.
That was a weird bow.
She's adorable.
I didn't know what to make of that bow.
Did you like her? Did you guys get
Yeah,
along?
she was fine. She was just very insecure to me. I thought that she was too interested in worried about the gameplay, and she talked about it during the first episode, but it was too much.
Yeah.
If you have to say, oh, I want to strategize, oh, I want to do this, that is a strategy. You don't have to do it, and you can be strategic.
Okay. Do you think you are not strategic enough?
I'm sitting here with you after the first episode.
Yeah.
That seems like a tautology, doesn't it? Of course I wasn't strategic enough. I lost.
Right. True that.
True.
So if you so if you had a chance to go back and play, would you play again?
True that. Is that the right response? I don't even know what
if you're
true
going
that means.
to the club.
To the club? Can you imitate it like a club person? Yeah, I would, of course, because I think I would do it better. I would do it better.
You would do it better.
Yeah.
No blazer.
Done.
Over it.
Over it.
You wouldn't
I may
think
go
you
in
were
just
super
a white,
smart.
I'd go into with a white T-shirt, like a white sleeveless T-shirt.
Like a
Yeah, like that.
A wife beater tee.
Huh?
Are you talking about the wife beater tees?
Yeah, I didn't know it was called that.
Oh, I'm from the South. That's what we call it.
Okay, good. Better you than me on live television.
It's live internet.
Close enough.
Dominica asked if you could place. Oh, whoa! Dominica, you and I are thinking on the same page.
Yeah,
if you could play Survivor
I
again, would you?
Because there's so few people have the opportunity to do it. So if you have that opportunity and it's something you want to do, you should go for it. I spoke to my kids about that. I wanted to do this because I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be on Survivor, so why not go for it?
What was the toughest part for you out there?
Out there?
Yeah.
It was really, obviously being unplugged is very tough for me because I always have a phone and I always know what's going on and I'm always in touch with family and that was definitely different, tough, and I felt like I had the DTs a little bit without my phone.
Withdrawals.
Yeah.
Big time.
And it was weird. But then,
people are going to rehab for internet withdrawal. Or internet addiction, I mean.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They pay like $10,000 a week.
Is that a way to get out of debt when you build up like credit card debt from buying stuff online?
It's possible. I mean, a lot of people get out of jail to go to rehab. So it's possible that they use it to get out of debt.
There's also rehabs in prison.
That's true, too.
Yeah.
But, you don't want to go to jail. You'd rather go to
No, I'd rather not break any laws, thank you.
Yeah, except for you do have internet addiction. Or connection addiction.
You
or
do?
technology addiction.
Hold on, let me think about this.
Which one of those three is it?
It's definitely not internet. It's definitely not technology. I think it's connection.
Connection addiction.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, that's funny because it was really one of my favorite things going out there and being so unplugged. Like no one could get a hold of me. No one could find me. I really liked it.
I had never not known the score of a baseball game of our team live.
Who did you leave in charge? Did you have a trusted man?
We have a whole group of people. We have people who run the baseball side. We have people who run the business side. The higher your title is, the actual less you do. I don't know if you know that. Like on your show, for example, Survivor Live, do you actually do anything other than this? Get ready for it. You have such a great crew in place.
Well, I have a great
production
crew, the
team.
best. Yeah.
You just come here, look pretty, and take questions and ask questions, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, the fans are working really hard out there, too.
True. I'm just
basically, you're calling me a talking head, and you're saying anyone could do my job.
No,
and you're saying anyone could do your job.
I'm saying that. Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. It's harder to get my job than to keep my job. I actually.
So you can leave for another season of Survivor, and maybe we'll see you again.
You never know. You never know. Listen, my cell phone is always on because I have connection addiction.
That's true.
So if I get a call from Jeff, I'll take it.
Yep. There you heard it.
Hold on, this is me waiting for the call from Jeff.
You might pass out. You should probably take a breath.
Big time.
Okay.
I'm no longer going to hold my breath.
Well, thank you, David. It was really nice having you.
This was fun. Thank you.
You've shed some light for us, for the fans out there. Appreciate that.
My pleasure.
I noticed that you're not wearing a blazer, so you've already learned your lesson from this past season.
Yeah, that is, it's done. No blazers, no Survivor. No Brains Tribe.
No Brains Tribe. But I really loved your closing remarks where you said, I feel like the luckiest person in the world.
I am. I mean, how could you be any luckier? I have a great family, great job, get to do things that are totally extraordinary all the time. And Survivor is on that list, and that's a big honor.
And now you're going to tutor Brad Culpepper.
I can't wait.
Synergy. Making connections. All right, we have to say goodbye. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to have Garrett in here for his rebuttal. All right, so stay tuned.